Hi, welcome to TLC Agency. I'm Llana, and I'm going to kind of go over an assessment to see how we can help you out today. What have you been going through that brought you here today?
Just issues with my youngest. She's 4 years old, and she's being a little brat.
Okay. Well, let's certainly see how we can, maybe help you out with taking care of her and of course, getting through those little tantrum stages that they have at that age. I'm going to ask you just a couple questions to kind of get a feel for what it's like in your home and your family dynamics, and we'll go from there, okay?
All right.
All right. And currently, what is your living situation?
Me, my husband, and my 2 kids. Both the kids are mine from previous relationships.
Okay. Any recent changes that have happened in the home?
Not really.
Okay. Any non-relatives or family members that live in the home with you and your husband? Okay.
Just the 4 of us.
Okay. Have you had any concerns about your housing situation recently?
Other than our landlord raised the rent, but other than that, no.
I know that can definitely become frustrating when you're at a set rate for your rent, and then
And she only raised it because we asked her to do something, and then 2 days later she raises the rent on us.
That's too bad. Are you currently in a lease with her? Or?
Yeah.
Is it a new lease where she increased that rent, or?
No, it's part of the old agreement, and then she raised the rent and gave us a notice to let us know that in June she's raising the rent. So she gave us plenty of time.
Ah, okay. I know that sometimes you can check into with like a free consultation with an attorney to see if that's within your tenant landlord rights of whether that's something they can do in the middle of a lease. So might be something you want to check into. Are all your utilities on? Heat,
Yep.
Electricity, water? Okay. And have you always been in Kansas?
Yep.
Okay. U.S. citizens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, we better be. We were both in the military.
All right. Do you currently work?
Work study through school.
Okay. Where's your work study at?
Downtown.
Okay.
With a veterans agency
Oh.
that helps veterans with counseling and stuff like that. So
I bet that's a pretty beneficial position that you have.
yeah, I love it. I do. I really do. I just kind of wish I'd pay more, but it is work study.
Have you worked there for a while, or?
A couple weeks.
Okay.
Couple weeks.
As far as changes in employment, you started there a couple weeks ago. Any problems with employment prior to getting the work study?
Other than working for Walmart, but
Okay.
that's what you get when you work for a big corporation like that.
Does the work study offer any kind of benefits like insurance?
No.
Okay. Your children, are they enrolled in an insurance program or Medicaid?
Yep.
Okay. Is it through a private or through the
No,
state?
it's through the state.
Okay, so they are qualified and eligible for Medicaid. Currently, the income that you bring in from the work study, is that enough to support you guys?
With my disability and my schooling benefits that I get, yes.
Okay. Ever have any problems with, basic necessities like food and electricity, paying any bills or anything like that?
No, usually if we run short or something, we have plenty of people we can rely on for help if need be.
That's always good to have that support group.
And we know what kind of services are available if we ever need help. We know where we can go to get the extra help.
Excellent. Ever had any hospitalizations, you or your family, for any kind of physical or mental health problems at all?
Just normal childbirth, emergency room visits, nothing over the top.
Okay. Any changes in sleeping patterns recently at all?
Other than late nights with school, I mean, test studying papers.
Any changes in your eating habits or what you've been eating?
No, everything's pretty normal.
Okay.
I never really had a normal diet anyway. What
about handling stress? How do you
No.
normally do with that?
I do fine. I have things I can do to kind of de-stress myself. So.
Okay. So you use de-stressing techniques?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Hot baths, a walk, cuddling with the baby.
Okay.
I mean, she's not a baby, but she's my baby.
Right. Do you drink any alcohol on a weekly basis?
Not on a weekly, occasionally.
Okay.
I mean, we have alcohol in the house, but it's not something that I go to all the time. It's a very rare occasion.
Okay.
I've had the same bottle of rum in the freezer for like the last 3 months.
Gotcha. Okay. So is it, when you do drink, is it typically...
One or two.
Okay. And do you prefer like liquor, wine, beer?
Beer,
or...
I'm allergic to. I don't like wine, so it's mostly liquor.
Okay. And it's usually just maybe one or two drinks if you have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very occasional.
Okay.
I don't like the whole blackout mode thing. That just scares me.
Understandable.
I'm kind of a control freak.
Right. Well, I do just want to remind you that, anything that you do say to me is kept within confidentiality here. The only time that it would go outside of these walls between you and I would be if there is a threat to harm yourself or others.
That's understandable.
One of the other questions here is, do you use any kind of drugs?
I experimented when I was younger, but it all kind of just the lack of control just really kind of turned me off of all of it.
Okay.
And weed gives me a headache, so.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm just going to ask a few questions in regards to your emotions and feelings for this next section. How would you say that your feelings or mood is currently right now?
Normal.
Normal? Okay. Any changes in your mood recently?
I go back and forth a little bit with some moods, just because of the doctor's diagnosis of the PTSD thing.
Okay.
But other than that, it's a normal process for me.
Okay.
It may not look normal compared to somebody that's never had trauma.
Okay.
But for me, it's normal.
So just kind of normal waves of up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you find yourself worried, anxious, or stressed out at the time being?
Only during finals week.
Well, luckily that's not this week then, right?
Right.
So nothing right now that's increased or okay.
No.
How would you describe your energy level?
Back and forth sometimes. There are days I don't want to get out of bed, but I still force myself to, and then there's other days I feel like I'm just in a good mood, and I don't know why.
Gotcha. Any changes to your normal daily routines at all?
No, everything's been pretty normal.
Okay. No major changes in life?
Not really, just normal, stuff. Happens to everybody pretty much.
Okay, just the daily stresses between husband, kids, work, school.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Ever thought about hurting yourself or anyone else?
Well, I do this game in my head where I fantasize it, but I could never do it. Okay. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I just can't take a human life. I value human life way too much. But, and it's mostly I fantasize about hurting my daughter's father, her biological father, but
okay.
It just makes me feel better.
How long have you had feelings of, fantasized about hurting him?
Since he walked into her life. Okay. Because he was absent for about 1.5 years, didn't want nothing to do with her, nothing, and then he walks in demanding everything, and okay. So, but other than that, I mean, that's really the only one that I really do fantasize about. I mean.
Okay. So it's been kind of a tumultuous relationship then since he's come back into her life.
Yeah, but I mean, I handle it the best way I can. We talk through text messages. We never talk over the phone. My choice. Mm-hmm. And I'm quick to remind him that if it's not anything about his daughter, we don't need to discuss it.
Gotcha.
So that way it kind of nips the whole stress situation with him out of the way. It stops it before it even starts.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Or I just don't reply to him.
You had said that she's kind of had some behaviors that you described as kind of bratty. How long would you say that those have been going on?
Every weekend, every Sunday, I pick her up from her dad's for the next 2 days. She's a brat.
Okay. So the behaviors happen typically when returning back from his home. Have you discussed that with him through text messages? And
I've tried, but his response to me every time is, it's my house, my rules, and he does have a point with that, so I just, kind of gave up on it, and I just try to remind her that she's coming home with me, and now it's time to follow mommy and, daddy's rules, so,
right.
And our rules are different, so.
Okay, so he's a little more controlling in regards to what happens in his house and not willing to kind of bend to make the rules
a little bit similar.
Okay.
And they let her run wild, which I try to take into consideration that it is his house. It's kind of hard sometimes, but until she turns 14, there's nothing I can do about it.
Gotcha.
And I have to let her make that decision on her own about who her father really is before I can step in. I mean, I want to protect her, but because I know he's going to end up breaking her heart, but I can't.
Okay.
That's the hard part.
Do you have people that you can talk to in regards to like your worries and stresses about her visitations with him and everything?
I've got a cousin that lives close to me who I've been very, very close with since she was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
We got really close. My parents pulled her out of the foster care system, and her and I have become very, very close.
Good.
And we talk about every other day. I have a best friend that lives in Hutch that calls me every day, and we talk every day. And then I've got my parents; they live pretty close to us too, and my little brother, who we talk all the time, and then my army buddies I talk to all the time too. So they're really good about calling me. And
good. Sounds like you've got a good support system then around you, and they have that regular conversations with you, and you're able to vent with them. That's very, very good.
And my husband's really good about it too. He'll notice right off something's wrong, and he'll make me sit down and talk about it. He won't let me walk away and say I'm fine.
Well, that's good that he stays on top of that as well, because sometimes men are not the best communicators, and they're not the best listeners. So it sounds like you've got one that's excellent with both.
Well, sometimes with the listening part, but
right. Do you have any social groups that you belong to? Churches?
For me, I don't believe in the church setting per se. I believe more of the spiritual teachings itself versus what the church teaches.
Right.
I have a group that I do communicate with as far as, we do the biblical studies and stuff on our own and kind of discuss those.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm kind of a loner, I guess, because I don't really belong to a social group.
Okay.
Except the ones that, I run around with.
Gotcha. Other than the issues that you've been having with your daughter when she returns back from her dad's house, how's everything else going in the home?
Good, really good. There's constant teasing and fun play like that.
Okay.
So we're constantly making each other laugh and doing that kind of stuff.
Great. So everybody gets along and no problems in the home.
Well, other than the fact that I got a 14-year-old boy.
Oh, and sometimes they don't want to be part of the normal family group and family things. But you spend a lot of time together.
Oh yeah,
when you can.
Yeah, we constantly will eat dinners together every night, except for 2 days a week when I'm in school because of my night class. But every other chance that we do get to sit down and eat together as a family, we do. So that way we can talk and just hang out. Excellent.
Any concerns about anyone else in your family right now?
No.
Okay. When you're in the home with your family, do you feel safe?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Do you ever worry about yourself or someone else in the home getting hurt or injured in any way?
Nah.
Okay. When you guys do have arguments or conflicts, whether it be between your husband or you and your children, what normally happens?
My son and I were really good. I mean, we'll get to a point where we get, we'll try to talk over each other and we're both quick to go, okay, wait a minute, I'm sorry. And, kind of take a step back and, okay, why are we getting upset? Kind of evaluate what is making us upset and why we feel the need that our opinion is more important than someone else's.
Okay. Well, that's very good that you guys are able to take that step back and look at what's going on versus the continuing of the argument and taking things up to another level. Have there ever been any times where you've been slap punched or shoved by your spouse or partner?
No. I mean, not in the context of violence or anger, other than, kind of the playing, like the hand thing where you put them in front of you and just kind of slap at each other.
Gotcha.
Nothing ever really meant for physical or a violent type of altercation ever.
Okay. Good. Has there ever been a time where you felt out of control with your emotions and ever hurt anyone in your home?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, this completes the questions that I have. What I would like to do is kind of look into, what resources might be available for helping out your daughter. There may be some opportunities where when she comes back from her dad's, maybe that same evening or the following day, she might be able to get with a separate third party that kind of have a little bit of play therapy to try and get out some of that brattiness, as you say, or disobedience within that short time frame of returning home, so that the remainder of the time that she's with you during that week or 2 week time period, she's a lot more at ease. She's going to listen better. So I want to check into resources to see if that's something that might be available, and if that is something that you guys would be able to financially afford if Medicaid doesn't take care of that. Anything else that you might have concerns with or that you're interested in as far as resources?
No, that's pretty much what I was concerned with, was her, and if there was anything I could do to kind of help her or, before I strangle her.
Understandable. It definitely, like I said, can get pretty difficult when they begin to throw those tantrums. And like I said, some of the play therapists in the area have programs where they can help assist, children that do go in between households on a regular basis. And when they come back to the residential parents' home, they do show that little bit of anger or disobedience. So I'd like to make a few calls, and then I will give you a call when I've gotten everything rounded up, and we can set another appointment to visit again.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.